so far away from home, in this desert of regrets. Never thought that I would have to let you go. Tell me, how can I forget? If I could travel back in time, I'd lay a blanket full of stars to brighten up the darkness of our sleepless nights. I'd find a way to make you smile. But I will break your fall, even if you don't love me, even if you don't love me. I will break your fall, even if you don't love me.
Welcome to another Explore Everyday video, and I'm calling this one Milky Way Preseason. It's March 2nd. We're about 20 minutes from sunset right now, and I'm about to do some star trails in one of my Explore Everyday spots. When I say it's Milky Way Preseason, I've already seen some great shots of the Milky Way. I just don't have the time right now to be out at 4 in the morning, so we're gonna practice, and I got some plans to be out later in the month of March here. So join along, let's shoot some star trails tonight. So I have a few plans for tonight. I think we're gonna have a good sunset, so I gotta get a time lapse set up here to shoot a sunset while I do some scouting. I'm gonna do star trails at 2 of my Explore Everyday spots, and you'll recognize them from most of my videos here shortly. One's new, it's a birdhouse, a bluebird house, so I'm gonna try to do maybe an out of focus star trail going behind it with the birdhouse in focus. But then I have my trees up on a ridge, which I think I'm gonna try to shoot with like 14 millimeter. So I'm at a campsite here. The park closes at 10, so I got plenty of time. We do have some clouds overhead right now, but I think they're all gonna clear here by the time it's astronomical twilight and we can start shooting star trails. So looks like we got about 15 minutes till sunset, so let me get a time lapse going there. And then we're gonna go quick scout out a couple spots. One of the spots I'm gonna shoot tonight is that ridge of trees just catching the last light over there. You've seen it in my other videos. I like to shoot the belt of Venus over that. It's up on a ridge, so I just wanna be down below it, which should be easy to do. And just find the right composition to balance it out. I'll probably use my 14 millimeter on my Nikon D750 over there, my Sigma 14 millimeter. I wanna get a lot of sky. I wanna find Polaris and try to get that circular rotation up in the sky above it. So we don't need to go over there yet. It's maybe a 5-minute walk away. It looks further away on the camera. And now we're gonna go check out our bluebird houses that I plan to shoot. So here's our bluebird house. We have one here, and we have another one maybe 15 yards behind it. I'm not sure if I'll be able to get those both in the frame. I do want to do some in focus of this with the stars out of focus. So I'll probably use my 24-70 on that and maybe shoot that around 50 millimeter and be real up close to it. And I also have some real low level lights with, so maybe I'll place those on the bottom and just kind of give this just a nice glow maybe to help accentuate it against the horizon. And maybe I'll do it on both of them actually. So I'm not gonna shoot the ground, I don't think. And then they will both maybe be lit up and be able to be seen in the composition. from a cloud perspective, I think we're gonna be okay. It's pretty cloudy to the north right now, but you can see that clearing line. Get my arm going the right way. You can see that clearing line right there. That's catching some nice light. That is all pushing off to the northeast. We have one more little batch of clouds coming in behind it, but I think essentially we will be clear tonight. It just might take a little while, but I can't probably start doing the star trails for at least another 45 minutes, maybe an hour. So I'm feeling good about the clouds for the most part. We haven't had a clear night in at least a week, so I'm optimistic. Got some nice color taken off in the eastern sky over there. Spinning around to the north. So you can see that clearing line is already pushing through. We got our one last batch of clouds kind of behind these trees. I'm back at the truck right now. It's got a burning sunset going right now. It's so beautiful. I'm gonna actually go scout out my ridgeline trees before it's dark. It's pretty warm out. It's probably upper 30s right now. One tip I have, I'm from Minnesota. I know what I'm talking when it comes to cold weather. Hand warmers. Just put a set in your gloves when you go out. Warm hands make all the difference to helping keeping your whole body warm. I've learned in the last couple of years. I take these with every time I take Luna out for a walk, and it is just a game changer. One in each glove. Hold on to them when you're walking. If your hands get too hot, throw them in your pockets, but you get that instant heat, and I feel like warm hands keeps the rest of your body warm. I'm gonna throw some boots on, and we're gonna quick trudge out there. I'm actually gonna bring the gear with, and a tripod, and I might just set up. So let's get that ready. It's also hard to beat a good pair of slip-on boots. And the one campsite that I'm parked in here is like the muddiest one around, so Luna's getting nice and dirty. But having some good slip-on boots sure makes life easier. So I'm bringing one camera with only. I'm gonna leave my D750 with my 24-70 here, and just bring my D610, and I'm gonna have a 20mm and a 14mm with. To lighten the load, take that other camera out. Luna's getting excited. She knows we're gonna go hiking here. She's kind of just been walking around. She's like, this is what we do, Dad. We go hiking. So a leash in my pocket. And off we go. With an 11% waxing crescent moon and Venus setting in the west, I made my way out to the ridge of trees. I shot an entire segment on how I lined up the shot, but those dang clouds just persisted. Ultimately, I scrapped the ridgeline and focused all my time on the bluebird houses. All right, you can see the moon and Venus setting over my shoulder here. The clearing line is finally pushed through. I can probably start heading out to my bluebird houses here pretty quick to start setting up those star trails. My tree shots will take a little bit longer as these clouds move off to the northeast, but a pretty western horizon here tonight. I got a great view of Orion and the winter circle up over my other shoulder here. It's always sad to see that go as we move into spring. It's mixed, right? Orion's like a warm friend out there in the winter, but when he's gone, you know it's summer, and that's good also. So yeah, I'm gonna start probably walking over to the bluebird houses and see what kind of shot I can get lined up and probably start shooting that because we are clearing off quick now. Honestly wonder what I'm thinking sometimes. I've been so focused on shooting north, getting the circles, North Star. I've been sitting here taking pictures of Orion over my shoulder. I got my birdhouse here. I can shoot if I'm doing autofocus, longer focal length. I've got my shot. So I've wasted 30 minutes standing around waiting for clouds to clear that are still up to the north. So I'm going to get a shot set up here with the birdhouse. All right, I finally got my shot figured out here. I got Orion coming in from the top left of the frame, and it should kind of work its way down through the bluebird house. I'm nice and low to the ground here. So I'm going to get firing. I'm shooting at about ISO 250 f 4.5 with 6 or 8 second exposure. So hopefully that's not going to blow up the stars. It should be thrown a little out of focus. The birdhouse is in focus, and we'll see how this turns out. We'll shoot this for half an hour or so. It literally took about 4 frames for a plane to fly right through the time lapse. So those are pretty much shot. I'm hoping this is not the exact flight path tonight. That would be frustrating because this is the only clear sky I have. All right, we've got the 10 o'clock update. It's getting colder. I've had 3 time lapses running now. I have my original, which is shooting Orion, which looked really cool. I also set up a time lapse shooting the crescent moon setting. That looks really good. Unfortunately, my time lapse quit about 10 minutes before the moon hit the horizon, but it still looks great. It goes through some trees. And I have a 3rd time lapse now finally running for probably half hour. The other bluebird house, and it's shooting Polaris, which is right up there. Unfortunately, for the first 15 or 20 minutes I had it out, a big batch of clouds came in. So right now it's clear. So while I got the gap, maybe I'll let it go for a while here. The park does close at 10. I'll be able to get out, so I might just hang out. It's a pretty nice night. It's only 10. It's not late. Maybe go another half hour, maybe another hour. We'll see, but a fun night out. This might be my wrap. We'll see. If it is, thanks so much for watching. And here are those star trails and time lapses that I've made tonight. I hope you enjoyed the journey. See you next time. Welcome back. Milky Way preseason continues with another Star Trails outing tonight. When I was last out, it was on Sunday. It was about 40 degrees with no snow on the ground. It is now Wednesday, and we got 10 inches of heavy, wet March snow last night. Not only did I snowblow my own driveway, I also snowblowed a neighbor's driveway who was out shoveling by hand. That was no way they could do that. And my other neighbor decided to drive over the plow wash and got stuck, so I dug her out as well. So needless to say, it was tough to get off the couch to go out, but considering it's pretty warm out, 29 degrees, I am heading back to the same nature park I was at the other night. And I'm hoping to find some untouched snow where no one has walked through it yet. That is what I'm hoping for. I have a pavilion, picnic pavilion, which I think is a target tonight. And then I have a pond, which is still frozen, which is going to be my other target with just a big sky. Why did I pick these two targets? They are close to the parking lot. I do not have the energy to go trudging through 10 inches of snow after all my activity today. So I'm keeping it as simple as possible. So gonna go take a look. There are no clouds tonight, as you'll see from the first night out. Clouds were quite the issue, so we have not a cloud in the sky. So looking forward to seeing how this new snowy landscape looks and what we can shoot tonight. It's a little different driving through here tonight than a couple days ago, but the good news is this is all gonna melt in the next week. All right, I'm at my first spot here. I'm gonna try to travel really light tonight and not even take my camera bag up with me, I don't think. So I'm gonna go, you can see the tree up on the hill there. That is a potential target, but there is a bit of a breeze tonight, so we'll get some movement in that. The picnic pavilion is right behind it, so I like that because it's obviously not gonna move in the wind. And it's open-sided, so I'm hoping I can maybe set up so you can see those star trails, and it's looking north so we can get the circle. So I'm hoping those open-sided I can somehow set up. I'm planning to do the 14 millimeter up there to get nice and tight to it and shoot through those open sides, maybe get some stars around the whole thing. Or that tree, which is a really interesting tree, I should be able to isolate as well. So those are my couple thoughts for this first spot. And my second spot is actually just another 100 yards away from it, shooting over a pond to the north. So overall, a pretty simple setup tonight. I'm gonna grab my first setup. So here's my space up here. I've got a couple trees over here. I got the pavilion over here, and I've got my lone tree just to my left here, about 20 yards. So I got to kind of think this out. There's been a little foot traffic over by the tree, but it's pristine out in the rest of the picnic area here. So I got to think about how I want to set this up before I just plow through there and leave a big set of tracks. So I got to figure that out and then get shooting. All right, it took some work, but I think I've got my composition lined up where I'm getting all three elements, my cool tree, this tree, and the picnic pavilion in the same shot. I got Polaris up in the left-hand corner that's gonna fill some open space. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this one firing and find one more that I can shoot tonight. I think it's gonna be the tree right over my shoulder here. They're close together, I think I can get them both. It is hard walking through the snow, so that's the plan. Get this one firing, set up that one, and go sit in the warm truck probably. Definitely a busy sky up there tonight. We got the moon, the bright planet next to the moon is Jupiter, panning over. You got the winter circle with Orion right in the middle of it. You got Sirius shining bright off in the southeast sky. All right, I got shot number 2 finally figured out. It's probably 30 minutes later. I actually ran into 2 people as soon as I set up that time lapse. They're just on a walk. This is a cross-country ski facility, and they came here and the trails weren't groomed, which is kind of surprising since snow's going to melt in like 4 days. So they're just taking a walk. I did not expect to see 2 other human beings out here tonight. Coyotes, yes. Human beings, no. So my next shot, I don't love it, but I'm running out of time. I got this gap right here between these trees, and I got Orion going right across it. There's so much going on in that southern sky. It's more interesting than the northern sky, actually. So I'm gonna get this one running and head back to the truck and just relax for a bit. All right, it's a 10 o'clock update. So you can see in the very far corner over there, that's where my Star Trails first one is running. And then another, I don't know, 75 yards below that one, my second one is running. So about 10 o'clock, I'm getting a little tired. The tough thing with Star Trails is the longer you let them run, the better they're gonna look. So 5 more minutes, 5 more minutes, 10 more minutes. Just to, especially for the one going around Polaris, the longer you let it run, the better your circle is going to be up in the sky there. So that one is running at 10-second intervals, I think at f4.5 at ISO 200. It's pretty bright out. We have almost a quarter moon. And my second time lapse is running at about the same. I'm just going to kind of soak up the last nights of winter here. We went really abrupt. About 10 days ago, it was negative 15 degrees Fahrenheit. And then within a week, we had highs in the 50s. All the snow melted. It was definitely full on spring. And now we're back to winter. And winter's a weird one, man. Like, when you're in it, I don't know if I enjoy it, but it was almost too abrupt of an end last week. So I'm kind of glad to get one last gasp of winter. And the nice thing about a big snowstorm in March is this is going to be gone next week. If this happens in October or November, this is on the ground for months and months and months. So this is like mini winter. We had fall spring 1, and now we have winter, and we'll have fall spring 2 coming up. There's a chance we have another storm coming next week, maybe Tuesday-ish, about 6 days from now. Could be snow, could be rain, too early to tell, but something to keep an eye on. But these spring storms, they come, they dump, and then they're gone. And then we know a month from now, it's going to be much nicer. So I'm going to let these probably run a little bit more, and then I'm going to round these up here pretty quick. And technically, the park closes at 10, so I'll let them go for a little bit longer and try to get home in the next half hour, 45 minutes. I'm only 10 minutes from home. All right, I think I've had enough. It's maybe 10 minutes since my last update. I'm getting cold. I'm a little nervous. I didn't put any lens warmers on, so maybe we're frosting up, but I think we're good. And it's a lot of work. There's some deep snow. I'm tired from snow blowing 2 driveways and digging out a stuck neighbor. I'm sore. So I'm going to wrap this up. I think this is going to conclude my 2 nights out shooting star trails, which I'm calling my Milky Way preseason, just a couple nights out under the stars close to home. So I'm going to go grab my 2 cameras, trudge through the snow. I'm going to leave the vlogging camera behind because it's too much work. go grab those two. And I'm sure something cool is going to happen. Coyotes will start howling or something cool will happen. But I'm going to leave the camera here by the truck, go get them, and be home in 30 minutes. Thanks so much for watching. Enjoy the star trails, and we'll see you in the next one.